Hello students, I'm Mrs. Adele, IF. Welcome to our online class. Today we are going to study English language and our topic is adjective. Adjective is a part of speech, and you remember while you were here in school, we started the part of speech, about 7 of them, and we started with the noun, the pronoun, and the verb. So today we are going to consider the adjective. And under this topic, we have some objectives that we want to achieve as we learn this lesson, and they are stated on the board. We want to note the meaning of adjective. We want to identify them in sentences. And again, we want to note the 3 degrees of comparison which we have in adjective. So let's start with the definition of adjective. Or maybe with just the meaning. Adjective means what? Attribute of something. Remember in the class I told you that adjective has to do with the noun. It has to do with the noun. Anything that gives more attributes of the noun or the object is regarded as adjective. But in this class, we are going to learn more than that. An adjective can equally qualify a pronoun. It can qualify even itself in a sentence. So the definition is what? Adjective qualify or modify nouns, pronouns, and other adjectives in the same sentence. And I have some examples on the board here. Um, these boys are obedient. If you look at this construction, you will notice that obedient is giving you more information about the boy. The boys can be stubborn, the boys can be lousy, the boys can be any other. But in this sentence, it's telling you that the boys are obedient children. So obedient here is an adjective qualifying children or these boys. The next one, mother gave me a full plate with an empty cup. I've underlined full, modifying plate, which is a noun, empty modifying cup, which is another noun in the same sentence. His father is a rich man. Rich is qualifying man. Here, he married a beautiful girl. Beautiful is qualifying girl. I bought a blue dress. Blue here is an adjective because it modifies dress. Up here we have other examples. A poor beggar was knocked down. Poor here is modifying beggar, which is a noun. It is really good to see you again. In this sentence, you can see that the adjective here is good, but here again, another adjective which is really is used to tell you the degree of good that is there, the degree of good. It is really good. Good can be fairly good, but here is telling you really good. To fight is extremely bad. To fight is an infinitive, taking the slot of a noun. Here, extremely bad. Extremely bad. So extremely is modifying bad, which is another adjective in that sentence. Going further, we want to have a look at the degrees at which we can compare adjective or use adjective as a comparative device. And that's why we have comparison of adjective. Adjective can be used to do that. And it can be done in 3 degrees. The positive, the comparative, and the superlative. The positive is just telling you about, just giving you an attribute of somebody. Mary is beautiful. Beautiful, there is an adjective, it's just what? A positive adjective, just telling you more about Mary. But in the comparative here, it compares two things. Like in the first sentence, we have just Mary. But for you to be able to use the comparative, you have to bring in two objects, maybe Mary and John. You can say Mary is more beautiful than John. Mary is more beautiful than John. Can see, or you can say Mary is taller than John. So taller there is the comparative adjective used to compare Mary and John. Then in the superlative here, we compare three things, three objects, or let me just say more than two. It may be three, maybe four, it may be 10, it may be 100. That is what the superlative does. So here now we want to introduce three people, maybe a class of 40 students, and we may say Mary is the most beautiful in our class. You can say Mary is the most beautiful. We have used most as a superlative there. We can equally say Mary is the tallest in my class. Or you can say John is the fattest among the three boys. John is the fattest. So that's the superlative. And I want to go further to tell you that there are rules guiding the way we compare. We use adjective in comparison. You don't just pick any adjective and start using it anyhow. There are rules guiding it. And the first one is the one that you just add what? Suffixes like what? ER, EST to nouns in order to form the comparative and the superlative. And I have some examples here: big, bigger, biggest; fat, fatter, fattest; small, smaller, smallest; cold, colder, coldest. We'll have more examples like weak, weaker, weakest; late, later, latest; sharp, sharper, sharpest; great, greater, greatest. Then under rule number two, you have some words that end with letter Y. All you need to do is just to change the Y to I, then add ER or EST in order to form the comparative and the superlative. The examples are here on the board. Dating ends with letter Y. So all we did here is just to change this Y to I before adding ES. And here we'll change it to I before adding ES. So what we get here is what? Dating, datier, datiest. Other examples are early, earlier, earliest; easy, easier, easiest; happy, happier, happiest; hungry, hungrier, hungriest. Then over here we'll have other examples too. These examples has to take care of some adjectives that will take both. You know, you can, no, sorry please. We'll have examples that involves more than two syllables, more than one syllable, like adjectives of two-syllable words. I will give you an example of what a syllable is. Like the former examples, you can see that the words here are monosyllabic words. They have just one syllable, like weak. But if you come here, you will see a word like careful. Careful takes two syllables. Care plus full will give you careful. And for a word like comfortable, you have up to 4 syllables here. Calm, fast, terrible. So for words like this, you just use more or most with them. And examples are careful more careful, most careful. Polite, more polite, most polite. Popular, more popular, most popular. Comfortable, more comfortable, most comfortable. We have some group of adjectives too that we call irregular adjectives. Irregular in the sense that they don't have a particular pattern of forming their comparative and superlative form. So we'll just group them under what? Irregular. And you can see some examples here. For good, you can see that what you have here is completely different from the word good. It's better, and there you have best. Here you have bad, worse, worst. Little, less, least. Many, more, most. We'll have some classwork which you are going to do for me. I'm going to write them on the board. You just have to cover them, copy them, and just identify or regroup them. The adjectives that I'm going to give you, you will provide the comparative and the superlative form of them. Yeah, like I told you, I have exam classwork for you to do for me, and they are in two parts, A and B. In part A, you are going to provide the comparative and the superlative form of the adjectives provided. There are 10 in number, and here I have some sentences. I just want you to underline the adjectives in them. Remember, in summary, we say that adjectives qualify nouns, they qualify pronouns, and they qualify themselves in any sentence where they are found. And after doing the assignment, there is an email down here where you forward it. That's the school email. Please do forward it here. Remember to write your name, your class, the topic, and the subject for easy identification. Once I get it, I will mark it and make sure I return it back to you. Thank you very much. Remember to keep safe, and God bless you.